Hello YouTube fans, here again, and now I figure as I did the original, why not the sequel, that being Lethal Weapon 2. As you know, it was 2 years later and the big success of Lethal Weapon was a smash hit in 87. 2 years later they decided to follow on with the sequel, that being Lethal Weapon 2. And I love this one, I love it. I remember when I first saw it, it was on Sky Movies. This again, like I always say, is when Sky Movies and Sky itself was worth a shit. When nowadays it's a piece of shit. But yeah, it was good, and when I first saw it, it was a bit, it's not as good as the first one. It's alright, yeah, it's okay. But over the days and over the time, after watching it again and again, after reviewing it, I got to like it, and I've got to admit, it's a damn worthy sequel. It is a damn worthy sequel. Again, you've got Mel Gibson, and you've got Danny Duffer. And I love the way they follow the lead in this. In this, I feel Mel Gibson takes more of the lead than the original. The original, it was Danny Duffer who's taking more of the lead, as Murphy. But in this, you've got Murdoch and you've got Ricks. Once again, a brilliant role. And what a great fucking opening. You got the Water Buffers logo, and you got a bit like the the old sort of like cartoons in them days when Water Buffers was showing a lot of cartoons. You know that. It's very funny how it does. It goes. And then you've got the opening. The opening is iconic. You got Lethal Weapon fires out, and then Lethal Weapon 2. And funny enough, it does have similar music. If you ever remember the original trailer to the original Lethal Weapon, the trailer was iconic. It used to come up and had the words, and it's hard to explain if you ever saw the trailer. And the music goes, and that's how it starts. Look, just exactly how it did in the original trailer of the original, where you've got Lethal Weapon 2 firing out, and that and it's brilliant. You've got an epic car chase scene anyway, where Rich is chasing after these baddies. He rats his Murdoch's car, and Murdoch looks really pissed because he only just got his car fixed. But then you find out that these are not just your typical drug dealers, so that's the South Right Africans who are pushing Juditams. I say that again. Juditams, meaning fake children toys. I just love the scene where the boss gives Rich shit. He says, "Hey, you see that? No smoking." And then Rich says, "Yeah, I know. I've seen it. And you know what? I don't give a fuck." Good attitude. I love it. Good attitude. I also like Patsy Kensit in this. She was pretty in that era, and she was damn hot. And when you think about it, 1989, when this one was shot, they made a lot of damn good films in 89. You had License to Kill, the film I reviewed. You had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and you also had this. Another dud un. But I like it, it's dud. It always makes me laugh. There's a South Right African in the scene where Ricks is sneaking a toss, and he says that line, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" It's just the accent, you know what I mean? I don't think it's supposed to be funny, but it always cracks me up the way he says it. What the fuck? What the fuck? But I love it. I love to see him says, "No swimming pool, here's a swimming pool," poof, and whacks him. I've forgotten the bit, so what I should have said in the original where Danny Duffer says that line, how does he put it now? "No way you live, no way at all." He does have a few good lines in this and all, and in all fairness, this is the one where Joe Pesci makes his first appearance, and I don't think they was going to have him in the third or the fourth. He was only going to be in this one, but I'm kind of happy they brought him in it because I like Joe Pesci. He was in the Goodfellas, but in a lot of things he can play a serious role, and he can also play a funny character like in this, and he is funny in this. He's fucking hilarious. I remember the bit where they go in the bank, which I can't say, Prickle Tourette, they don't be accused of being racist and all this, even though even Danny Duffer took the humour of it. But if you've seen Lethal Weapon 2, the scene where he goes in the bank, it's hilarious. It's just the same, I can't copy any lines in that because, Prickle Tourette, they don't be accused of being racist or anything. But if you watch Lethal Weapon 2, you see the scene in the bank, you know what I mean. It's funny, it's just hilarious. Again, he's going after these drugs, like I say, it's not drug dealers, but in this one it's more to do with Juditams. It's Oh, it's a different story than the first one, and I like that. Every one of them had a different type of story. I love the scene where he's getting his arm thing fixed and it's near the house, and he says a line, Danny Duffy says, "What do you think I am, Michael Jackson?" Which, if you don't know what that means, if you ever looked at this here Michael Jackson airbed scene, you get the humour of that. You know what I mean? It's a pretty good film, it's a worthy sequel. It's a worthy sequel. You get one bad guy in it, and Rich calls him Hitler, because the way he has his hair, he says, "Yo, Hitler, Hitler." He does the scene and all, he has that done, he says, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." Love it. Fucking love it. It's a classic. Lethal Weapon 2, in my eyes, is just as good as the first one. Just as good. In my eyes, the only decent Lethal Weapons was 1, 2, and I always reckon the third one should have been the last. I love the third one. I can't wait to tell you about that one, because that's definitely one that brings a lot of memories to me. A lot of memories. Well, yeah, Lethal Weapon 2, it's a good one. But this guy who, like I say, Mel Gibson as Rich calls Hitler, he does have a dark side, and you do find that out, because he does fall for Patsy Kensit. You can see, why is it damn hot in that era? There's a scene in it where you get the idea they're doing it, and it's, even though it does have some humour in it, and this is the one I would say has a lot more comedy in it. There's a lot of comedy in this, and this is the one I would say is more of an action film. The first one, like I said, was more of a thriller. This one I would say is more of an action and comedy, but at the end it does get dark, even more darker than the first one, because what it is, right, these South white Africans know what's going on, and they want to keep the cops shut. They basically want to keep the job shut, so they send the South Africans to do them in and bunk them off and just kill every one of the cops who could witness them. You got one guy's the lead baddie, and he even gives Mel Gibson some shit where he says, "Who's the dickhead now? Dictatorial immunity." Kind of reminds me of human rights, doesn't it? I always expect them to say dictatorial immunity when they get away with fucking murder after scumbags in the world. But that's a different story for another day. But anyway, you know, they end up killing Patsy Kensit, and you find out that they killed her. And it's such a cold scene, because the dive I said is like Hitler mentions. Remember when I mentioned Richie's wife down in a car accident? She wasn't. She was murdered by that guy, because that guy was going to do what he thought would have been Rich, was going to do him in, and then he found out it was his wife, and he done her in such a horrible, cold-blooded way. But definitely makes you hate that character even more. Then if that ain't bad enough, they drop Rich in water, in his big bucket of water, because the chats are Rich, the chats are him, had to shoot his fucking house up, and they top him in water with this brick. Takes him when he's underwater, but there's a bit where, I sort of mentioned before, he fingered his arm when he was in water, and you know, when he had it off the sock, and he could pull it back. You know what I mean? He could pull his arm back. Apart from dropping something, yeah, he can pull his arm back. So he gets out and he kills the guys. He's done it now. I do know this scene was heavily cut, because he gets the guys, gets one, snaps the fucking neck, bashes the other fucker's head in. That scene was cut. Even when I got the director's cut on DVD, it was cut. Don't ask me how I got it in its uncut form, but I managed to get the Lethal Weapon 2 in its uncut form, and it shows that. There's a good scene where he shoots the baddies, Ray, Murder, Benny, AIDS, and he mentions that they were the cops who got killed. And there's a good scene where he fights the main guys like Hitler. Not as good as the one where he fights with Daddy Tabusi, but still a good one. You know, he rams a knife in Rich's leg, but Rich, being a badass, outsmarts him, chops his big fucking box right on top of the fucker, crushes him. Now I do remember there was a scene where originally they was going to kill Mel Gibson's character off, not making this up. They was going to kill Rich off, because they had this fear this might not be as successful as the first one. So originally he was going to get shot and die in Danny Duffy's arms. So that was the original ending, believe it or not. But happy to say they altered that ending. Rich lives after getting shot. The bad guy gets shot, and I love to see where the fucking arsehole says, "Dictatorial immunity," and Danny Duffy looks at him, blows a gun out, shoots the fucker in the head, and then says that line, "It's just been default, arsehole." I love it. I just love it. Even love the song at the end, "Shoot them down." Do 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 do. Great film, worthy sequel, a damn good sequel, and I love it. Lethal Weapon 2, so in 89. It's a dud 'un. Until then, be safe, be wise, be smart, and I'll see you later.